So say hello so I know who's here. Let me know where you're from while we get us going everywhere. Okay, beautiful. Looks like Facebook is trying to start. Hopefully we get Facebook going. Otherwise, you can join us over on YouTube. Okay, everyone. Hello, Guy from Toronto. Max from Myrtle Beach. Oh, that's close to me. I'm in Sacramento. Hello, Judy. It's so great to see you. Kelly, awesome. Tina, wonderful. All right, so let's go ahead and start the recording. And today we're going to jump into today's call. All right. Hold on, there we go. All right, welcome everyone. I'm very excited to be here with all of you today. I love talking all about retreats. Let me know in the chat below, have you ever been on a retreat? I feel like most of the people in my circle, we have like this desire to see the world, to travel, or maybe there's just one particular place in the world that calls you, or a few places that really call to your heart and your soul. Maybe even since you were a child and you don't know why. I would love to hear in the chat if that's you and where those places are. I know for me, I've always had a desire to want to travel. We did not travel a lot growing up as a family, but my spirit was always so curious about places. And for me, different places call at different times or different stages of my journey. And I would love to hear from you. Do you feel that call to travel? And if so, is there a specific place? I would love to know. All right. And so let's jump into today's topic. Today, my intention is to really support you in connecting with some different places. We're going to be talking about 3 specific pathways. The call is called, in case you're not sure, Embodied Expansion, Heart Opening, and Soul Lineage. So this is really meant to be a retreat, a live retreat activation and orientation journey. We're going to talk about 3 specific pathways and retreats that I'll be leading in 2026 that can really support you on your spiritual path. Whether you decide to move forward into a retreat or not, my intention for you today is to really just expand your energy, expand your heart and your soul, and to really feel into your body and your heart and soul to know, is this a place that's calling to you? I know there's a lot of people who have reached out, oh, I just feel called to travel, but I'm not sure where. I feel called here and there. And so my intention today is to help you to gain some clarity there. And we're going to be doing an actual guided journey later as well, which will support you to really tap in and attune and feel the frequencies of these different powerful vortexes around the world. So I hope you are excited. Ooh, Ireland. I love Ireland. Yes. Australia, New Zealand. I've been to Australia. I could go back. I have not explored as much as I'd like to. And New Zealand looks amazing. Beautiful. So yes, there's so many places. There's so many places, right? And I've definitely noticed that as I've gone along on my spiritual path and journey, different places unlock different interests for me, right? I may not have been interested in it before, and then all of a sudden it's on my radar and I can't stop seeing it. And then I start getting curious about it. And then I go and I have, this, soul recognition and remembrance. Oftentimes we've experienced other lifetimes in these places, and part of our going back helps to reactivate, our experience or our gifts in that lifetime, or clear up even some of the karmic patterns that could have started there. Egypt, awesome. Scotland. Oh, I love Scotland too. Egypt is one we're going to be talking about today, Melanie. We're going to tune into that energy. So very exciting. So that's really what today is. I want to talk a little bit about these different retreat pathways and just share a little bit about tuning in and letting your soul guide you, right? These types of transformational retreats are not just vacations. They change your soul. They change your trajectory. They offer so much healing in such a short amount of time in a very fun way. So I love to start just with a short, very short meditation, just to set the energy for you to go through this experience, because I want you to be listening not only with your mind and your ears, but I want you to be tuning into your body and your heart, to your intuition, to your soul call, because that is really what today is going to support you with in a deep way. Okay, so let's just take a moment, if we could, together to synchronize our energy. And if you are on the replay, this is no time and space reality. So you are right here with us. If you can, just take a moment to breathe into your body and your heart. Let's just take 3 nice deep breaths together. And on the inhale in, just connecting more deeply with this present moment in your body. And on the exhale, just releasing and letting go the day. Breathing in that connection to your heart. And on the exhale, just releasing any distraction or to-dos. And one more nice deep breath in together. And having that intention of just grounding into the earth, right? You might see, feel, or imagine a beautiful beam of light. That's just grounding and connecting you into the core of the earth, helping you to expand this experience beyond the 3D physical world and really anchoring into that higher 5D and above energy, right? Tuning into the crystalline core of the earth, allowing the earth to help you be grounded and supported. Sometimes the mind and the fear in the body wants to get in there and distract us from what our soul's calling is. Beautiful. Just bringing that connection also all the way expanding beyond your physical body to that connection of source energy, God, the universe, the creator energy of all that is. Inviting in that connection with your higher self to really be speaking to you and through you in a way that you can easily recognize and understand. And to support you in clearing out. Sometimes when we look at doing something that our soul is guiding us to, in fact, most of the time, some level of fear or distraction bubbles up, trying to keep us safe, right? Oh no, it's scary, or, once you go, it's like the ego or the fear's job is to keep us safe. And so when we look at something new or expansive that's going to grow us or transform us, sometimes those fears come up. And so just gently allowing that energy to ground into the earth and to be supported by your highest and truest self. And really having the intention of aligning to your highest timeline, right? We're going through a lot of shifts and changes personally and collectively. And there's really an opportunity of leveling up in a big way. There always is the opportunity, but energetically, we're definitely in this portal of change and expansion and transformation. Right now is a pivotal time, but really this entire year is an expansive year. And from this space, you can set your own personal intention, right? Maybe it's around receiving clarity about if there is a retreat you've been curious about, there's a place that your soul's calling you to. Perhaps it's just a soul level activation, remembrance of who you are and who you've been, maybe and even experiencing these in other lifetimes. Beautiful. And just trusting that this energy and information will come to you and through you, whether it's on our call today, in the activation journey, or sometimes things will settle afterwards. We can initiate and open something up, and then that signs and synchronicities will start to come to you. Taking another nice deep breath in. And when you feel complete, you can open your eyes if you close them with me. Beautiful. Retreats in general, they are a catalyst for healing and growth, right? To me, it's like one of the fastest ways that you can expand your energy while having a fun time and nourishing your body, your mind, and your soul. You can accomplish literally 6 months worth of transformational work in a short 5 to 7 day focused, intentional retreat. When you leverage the power of the vortexes and energy centers around the world, when you have intention for healing, for expansion, or whatever it is that each personal person brings to the retreat intention, And when you are in, and when the group is designed to hold a transformational container in a safe way with other like-minded souls who come together, right? When two or more gather, things expand. And then we're amplifying that connection with the earth, the soul's memories, and our intentions together. And so much can happen in a way that's far beyond explanation. It's like it kind of, I know when I first did a retreat, it was 2009, and it folded for the whole year, right? It reset the energy for myself. I got to where I was going on a retreat for my own personal self every year to reset the energy. And then it became even more, right? Because it's so powerful to get out of your normal routine. When we can get out of the energy of our day-to-day life, our day-to-day routine, our habits, our family, our, all of the environment, because we get conditioned so much to what is happening right now, not what is possible for us, right? Or where our soul is guiding us to. Magic and miracles starts to open up, right? When you can really open yourself up into a new space where you don't have that constant feedback or reflection of who you've been up to this point, right? Because who you've been has created the experience that you have. When we are wanting to expand and grow beyond that, we're entering into new territory, which is usually when always we have a level of fear or doubts or things that kind of come up to distract us, whether it's a retreat or any transformational work. And this happens often when I've had people want to join my program. They feel all the energy they're going to be moving, and then part of them starts to second guess, or other people's naysaying start to second guess if they don't understand the journey, right? And so I think the same thing definitely happens with retreats as well. But that's why I wanted to really take a minute to tune into your body and your soul and your heart, right, to guide you in that, because we have to, in order to create something more expansive, we have to step into an experience that's more expansive, right? And really start to tap in to create from that. And when you have a big immersion, right, like going away for a few days to a powerful portal with a group of people with a solid intention and a safe environment and transformation work and all the things, in a short time, so much energy can change, right? You can also touch the vibration and energy to calibrate your field. But then when you come back home, you don't lose it. It's so much easier. I had a student who went on one of my retreats, I believe it was Shasta, who's like, who had mentioned after the fact, it's like, oh, now that I've been there, I can tap back into that energy anytime. I can tap back into the magic of that retreat, of that restorative feeling, of that expansive feeling anytime I want, even now that I'm home. I do that myself. Sometimes I'll tune into the energy of a certain place that I've been to. And of course we can tap into anything, anytime, anywhere, but when you've experienced it deeply, it becomes an integrated part of your being, right? So much more accessible. I also remember one time my brother took me on his President's Club retreat, right? He won for sales in this thing. And they took us to an environment where they had swag bags that were $100,000, or not $100,000. The trips were $100,000, but the swag bags were like $1,000 a piece. I got Maui Jim sunglasses, all these cool things as just being a guest even. And the rooms were between, about $1,000 a night. We had dinners for 18 people that were in the range of $18,000 to $30,000. It was ridiculous. It was like my brain couldn't wrap my head around it. It was just like a different level of abundance I had never experienced. But when I went to that, I was like, wow, I really leaned into it and I got to be in that environment. And when I came back home, it was easier for me to tap back into. Within the next year, I moved to a home in a much elevated area that was 1,000 square foot bigger. I bought my dream car that I wanted with all the bells and whistles, which both of those things felt previously very out of reach, but I touched a new level of abundance in this example, right? It's not only abundance, it's wealth, it's personal growth, it's all the things. But in this particular instance, it was when I came back, I was able to, over the next year or so, create an entirely different experience at an elevated level because I was able to tap into something that was beyond what my mind or my personal experience had ever been. Right. And now it's normalized, right? And I can already feel myself in a new expansion. And so this is something, the power of being and immersing yourself in different environments. Personally, going on retreats have taught me to really reset my life, my priorities in a much more sustainable way, right? There's so much magic in going to retreats for being that pattern interrupt, right? That's one of the gifts. It helps to get out of your mind, out of the day-to-day, out of your own unconscious limits, and just kind of walking through, sleepwalking through life sometimes. And I don't think anybody here is fully sleepwalking, but sometimes we're definitely all have a lot of conditioning and programming from our family, from our environment, from our habits, right? And it could be very easy to just have year after year look the same and not actually change, right? And so when you can pattern interrupt yourself, you can really see the limitation so much more clearly. You can see the false program. You can see your clarity. You can see what it is you truly desire, right? Something for me that's the most valuable thing I've gained is time and space for myself, right? Learning how to give myself and my dreams time and space in my life, right? To dream dreams I didn't even know I had, where I was in the permission of just being a single self-employed mom, going through the routines over and over and over again. I didn't know. I didn't have dreams for myself. I couldn't see beyond the day-to-day or beyond the month or beyond the normalcy until I started really, retreats were a huge shift. And I also really reset my nervous system every time I go on a retreat. I feel like it resets my nervous system and my barometer to a new normal, right? I didn't realize, especially on my first retreat, oh my gosh, I went to Hawaii for the first time, and it was like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that I was naturally conditioned to running on such high levels of stress and anxiety and pressure. That was just normal. Again, being a single mom, self-employed, had a hair business, weddings, all the things. I was doing it all by myself. And that was just normal. And so I didn't realize that I was actually on a survival mode all the time until I stepped out of that and got pampered and got massages and somebody cooked for me and I got to have fun experiences and swim in the ocean with the dolphins and all of this beautiful stuff. And then it's like, oh my gosh, this is what it's supposed to feel like. And when I came back, I was like, whoa, I have to rechange some of my priorities in my life. I had to readjust. I want to feel like that more often. That shouldn't be just a luxury on a trip or a retreat. It can be my everyday. And it really started me to change how I designed my life, right? We're all conscious creators. We get to design things. And so there's so many benefits, beyond those things. It'll help, going to different, especially when you're going to different sacred sites and through retreats where it's organized in a way that we're working and leveraging the energy of the land and the spiritual stewards of the land and connecting with our soul information and doing all this clearing and activating, working with the ley lines of the earth. It's like we awaken and heal our energy. We call back our information from other timelines and lifetimes. I call them cosmic, downloads, of course, but then uploads from the earth. That happened to me when I was in the Great Pyramid of Egypt. I was like, I'm connecting with the earth differently. I'm getting uploads of information, right? Still a download, but it's coming up through my feet from the earth energy. Clearing karma, clearing patterns of this timeline, past timelines, awakening new insights and clarity, awakening your spiritual gifts and abilities, right? Activating light codes within your field, and just a true remembrance of who you are, which is the core of our human existence, is to awaken, align, and embody and express who we truly are. And that's really the essence of all the retreats I do and the work that I do in general. But that's what you get when you get to go on these types of experiences. So I want to talk about 3 specific portals today that I can and share with each of you, because each portal has a different energy, a different field, a different steward, a different recollection of your own soul's experiences as you walk the land. And it's super, super powerful. Let's see. Kelly says, your retreats have been life-changing for me. I had significant shifts in energy and healing. I also made some lifelong friends and some amazing like-minded people. I cannot express enough how much I needed those nourishing journeys for my soul. Oh, thank you, Kelly. It was so amazing. She did 2 retreats like 6 months apart. And it was like, bam, like she just changed so much. Like her first retreat, she got her goals. And by the next one, she was closing up and already creating new things. And yeah, it's just amazing to see. So sorry about that. I do not know what alarm is set. Let me turn this off. Okay. So yes, so that is really, really powerful. So I want to talk first about a couple of things. And one thing I do want to mention, because this comes up a lot, or I feel like this, like I said, fears and doubts and things like this will come up for people for sure, as you start to step into something bigger, especially if you have never traveled before, not even if you've never traveled, but if it's going to be a big transformation, sometimes things will light up where other people will, limitations say, oh, I shouldn't spend my money on this or that, or someday, right? I have a lot of people, telling me, oh my gosh, I feel so called to, these places, and I'm going to go with you next time or someday. And I will say, especially for the retreats that are on the calendar that I'm sharing with you today, I don't actually have on the next year. I've done them a couple of years in a row, and I love, love, love them for sure. But I go where my soul calls me, and some new places are coming into the field for 2027. And so I guess my intention is don't delay right? Not only just this, but in general. If your soul is calling you for something, don't expect that the someday thing can be a trap of our mind and our ego and our fear, right? Because there is no guarantee. And I wanted to be clear about that, because I think a lot of people think I'm just going to keep these specific retreats on my calendar every year, and it's not necessarily the case. In fact, I think a few things will be changing for 2027, right? But here we're in 2026. This felt alive for me and for those that I meant that feel called for me to journey with and to help activate. So the first one I want to talk about is Mount Shasta. And Mount Shasta is amazing, right? This is all about like the embodied expansion and living your next level, right? For those who are really ready to expand. Something that I love about Shasta, and I think I'm going to screen share the pages. I'm going to try to screen share in both pages if I can, because I think sometimes that can be really helpful to see. And I'll give my team can also share the links for you to check out later, each of these pages. But I think that I will share these really quick, because I think visually sometimes the pictures and the energy, and I want you to, again, tune in beyond your mind, listen, of course, but there we go. All right, so we got Mount Shasta. Now, Mount Shasta is a power center. And one thing I love about Mount Shasta is considered to be the root chakra of the earth. And the mountain is anchored. You know, a mountain is anchored. That's a solid base, right? And the whole energy of the mountain is just a vortex. And that's another thing about all of these power centers. The energy of the land does a lot of the work. You could just be having fun, relaxing, nourishing, getting massage. You're getting transformation, right? The transformation that's aligned with your body and your soul at that time. And so this is something that is very important to know. I'm going to move the pages to some of the highlights I'll talk about in a second. But Mount Shasta has that grounded transformational ability and supportive, nurturing energy of Gaia and the earth. And it's also very expansive into the 5D and above energy, right? We very much work with the energies of both vortexes. We're working with the energy of expanding to our higher timeline, connecting into the 5D and above frequencies, while also anchoring it down into our physical 3D reality and through our body, through nourishing. We have a beautiful organic plant-based chef that comes along with us. We have a body worker that's optional that comes in there. We have dry sauna integration work. So each day there's downtime. We go and expand in the vortexes, and then we integrate back at our home base. And we end the evenings with sound baths, which is really, really powerful and healing. We also work a lot with, when we're working with the earth, there's a lot of that earth grounding energy, which again helps us to integrate and bring in and embody our transformation. And so that's a big, I would say, a big part of that retreat is each person can come with their own particular, whatever they're working to transform or heal. And when they get there, that's the work that comes out. And each theme, like when I run the retreats, it could be the same basic itinerary, but the feel and the vibe of what the group is working on always ends up being very synchronistically aligned. As Kelly said, she met Soul Family, long-time friends, lifetime friends, right? They will continue to be connected because they reconnected with Soul Family at such a strong level. You create bonds at a deep level. And I think that's another thing that's powerful about retreats is so often we're doing it alone, and we're not meant to do life alone. But many of us here feel misunderstood. We feel alone. We feel like nobody really gets us. We're like, we're kind of the odd man out, right? Or maybe different than our family's experiences. And so this is something really, really, I think, powerful about retreats as well. So I just wanted to share that. Now, the other thing about Mount Shasta is we will be like basically whoever's ready to expand and clear energy and expand. We also connect with the Lemurian frequency at Shasta, right? Lemuria has a fifth dimensional frequency of Telos below the mountain, which is Lemurian's energy, Lemurian frequency, Lemurian's vibration. Connect with our star family. We connect with Saint Germain, right? With the violet flame. We do a burning ceremony. We clear energy. So we're really working above and below. There are so many archangels and dragons. I mean, that is the one place that I would say where I've actually filmed and got video and photos of fairies, of Saint Germain energy, of starseed energy, starships, like there's just so much. It's very, very visceral. The veil is very thin, right? And so we really bring that energy in and help you to really acclimatize to your next level. whatever that might be, right? And so that's something very powerful. So we do lots of energy work, lots of channeled activations, connecting with your Lemurian guide, nightly sound baths, and a lot of very powerful stuff. Let me see here, just to give some we stay on an actual retreat center that we get the whole area to ourselves. There's many different styles of lodging, actually. So this one is probably the most accessible retreat. It's 5 days, and there's the ability to have glamping tents. All of them, by the way, have luxurious linens, feather beds. If you're allergic to feather, they can have a different style brought in for you, but feather beds and pillows, luxurious high quality linens, and comfortable bedding. So, and electric blankets if you're sleeping in a glamping tent with a space heater. There's also little individual cabins that sleep 2 to 3 people, depending if you have a group or if you want to be paired with a roommate. And we also have an indoor main house, which is just beautifully decorated. We go through, you can go onto the page to see some of the places that we go. We go through a botanical garden, we go to waterfalls, we go to Ascension Rock, and we do all kinds of ceremonies and circles each day. And each day there's also the ability to have some energy work done. We have a massage therapist, that one is extra charge. But you can come get your massage work. She does somatic work. We generally have an energy healer or somebody that's energy healing or reading that will be coming as well, that are all optional support for a few hours each day so that you can really integrate the energy. And then we go into dinner, and then we have a sound bath, and it's amazing. Right now, this is the last month for the $300 off for February that will be ending. We also have a 4-month payment plan that will move to 3 months, as that retreat is coming up soon, June 4th through 8th. And you'll also this month get a couple of extra bonuses. There's a bonus that will be for all of them that I'll share at the end that is also exclusive to February for all 3 retreats, which is very, very cool. So you can look on here if it's something that of interest to you. There's a lot of pictures of the house, of the different sleeping spaces, of the different places that we will be going. It's very, very beautiful accommodations. And you can also see a lot of people's experiences here as well. So that is where you can check out the Shasta retreat. I'll have my team place that link in all of the chats for you if that's something you want to bookmark or save for later. And we'll also send it out in an email if you're officially registered for this. If you're on Zoom, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you might not have it, but I'll have them put that link in all 3 places if you could. And I want to move now to the next one. So the next one we're going to talk about. Let me come back to I think I got to come back to stop screen sharing periodically so I can change to the next screen. So if there's any questions, okay, don't see questions. Yeah, I get nervous due to health and food restrictions. We absolutely can accommodate food restrictions in every retreat. So we have people who are vegan. The Mount Shasta retreat is actually, you wouldn't know it. I'm telling you, I have my meat eaters that are on the call here. In fact, one of them went vegan or vegetarian after the retreat, and she was a meat eater before, or at least pretty much, because she felt so good, right? So we have clean, nourishing, chef pampered meals on this particular retreat that can be accommodating to any type of food. And even my Egypt retreat, we're working with chefs, right? So if you have gluten, if you have anything that's required in terms of food, we can accommodate that. And then health would just depend. You could reach out to me and let me know on that because I'm unsure. Okay. I went vegetarian. Yes, Kelly, I didn't want to out you unless you wanted to be outed. Yes. So that is very cool. So the pricing, it will vary. So let me show the pricing. Somebody add pricing, and then I'm going to move on to the Egypt. And then at the end, we are going to do a guided journey through these places so you can feel in. I just wanted to get the logistics stuff moved out of the way first. Okay. So I think, let me make sure everybody can see. I got to share back on both. Sometimes, I have to share on, multiple screens. Okay, so let me come back for all you. Somebody's asking about pricing. And on Shasta, I want to show you because there's actually multiple. A lot of my retreats just have single or double occupancy pricing, and that's it. But in this case, we have, several options. Okay, so right now we have the glamping tent, which is beautiful. It's a very beautiful setup, right? You can see nice linens and all the heat things and everything. But that is $23.97 in full, or there's 4 payments of $600. And this is just until the end of February. Then the $300 discount goes away and it will move to 3 payments. There is also Klarna and Affirm. A lot of people take me up on that. If you're a US citizen, I mean, this is going to be between you and Klarna or an Affirm, but I've had many people sign up by going to the in full option and then choosing Klarna or Affirm and seeing what they can get, which is often a lower monthly plan. And then we have 1 spot left. This is only for a female roommate because we do our best to pair you, which we can almost always. I've never had a problem not pairing somebody for the double occupancy if you're coming by yourself. Most people are traveling alone. Some people do bring a friend or relative, which is fine as well. It's priced per person though. But the sleeping porch just has 1 female space left because we already have a female. I want everyone to feel comfortable, so I pair up with the same gender just to make sure people are feeling comfortable. So there's 1 spot there. It's basically, you can see this is connected to the outside of the house that's been renovated into an enclosed space, which again, comfy beds and heaters. That is $24.97 or 4 payments of $625. We have cozy cabins, which is $26.97. And there's lots of different styles of the cabins that are just adorable. It's $26.97 or 4 payments of $750. You can see how cute they are. And then we have the indoor main house, and there's 2 options left. There's an indoor queen, which is just a single queen bed. You can rent that as a single or double person. If 2 people are renting, like if you have a partner or a friend who's comfortable sharing the bed, then you can get a little bit of a discount on that room. Otherwise, you have to rent it as a single person because I won't put 2 people that don't know each other in the same bed, right? Obviously. Well, maybe not obviously. I just won't do that. So the next one has 2 beds, which you could do it as your solo, and I would just pair you with a person of the same gender as well. And you can see, there's beautiful pictures of the room setups. The house is gorgeous. They really take a lot of time and care with everything. Is very intentional on the entire property. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to come back and we're going to move on to the next one. Celiac. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we can definitely support that. I think, I don't know which retreat you're looking at, but all of them, we can make sure that, we're working with professional, high quality chefs for sure. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next retreat, which I'm going to talk about, which is super exciting. They're all super exciting. I just love them all. I didn't know I have to do a different one every single time on. I'm sorry. I've never really done this much navigating on 2 different things. On the stream, I was being a little weird. Okay. They always change and update things just slightly, enough to keep you on your toes, I guess. All right. So let me go ahead and get everybody shared with the Morea, which is the swim with the humpback whale. So totally different energy, right? Totally different energy. Both equally powerful in their own right and in their own way. And it's not scary at all, I promise. I had 3 people actually last time tell me that they weren't actually even comfortable with swimming, come on that retreat. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Good for you for getting through any fears and showing up. But they felt totally comfortable. We practice in the water, snorkeling the first day, and we have a guide, and you can actually hold onto a raft and just have the guide take you out. As long as you are comfortable being in the water with a snorkel, and you're not even a solid, as long as you feel comfortable with a life jacket and a floaty and a guide in the water, you'll be taken care of. She can float you out where we're going. Okay. So let's talk about this next retreat. Now, this energy, completely different. We are working with the energy of, first of all, the island of Morea is known as the island of Mu, right? Which is also Lemurian energy. It's like ancient Lemurian energy. It's considered actually the heart chakra of Lemuria because there's different places along the whole Pacific, from like United States, Hawaii, all the way down to Australia, that had different islands where Lemurians used to inhabit. And Morea, the island of Morea, which is in the French Polynesia near Tahiti. Tahiti is the airport you fly into, and then we take a quick, easy ferry ride across to the island of Morea. We have it's the heart chakra of Lemuria, of ancient Lemuria. And there was at the time there was 40,000 people on the island, I think, back in dating way far back, but now there's still 20,000 original descendants of the Lemurian tribal energy, which is so interesting, right? That it's been said it's been passed down for like the last 3,500 years or something like that. It's really quite palpable. The island itself is like 1 hour. You can drive around the whole thing in an hour, and it's protected by this beautiful coral reef. So you can just, I mean, that water is just turquoise, pristine, and it feels like heart, divine feminine energy, something that the softest energy, even beyond Hawaii, that I've ever felt in my life. And so this is all about heart opening. It's about connecting with your divine feminine, right? It's about opening up your intuition, connecting with the Akashic records. I mean, the whale's heart coherence field is massive. It's massive. You just can't not be in the field of their energy and expand. And it's a body healing. It's a heart feeling, but it's also very much a body healing, an emotional body healing, an energy body feeling. The whales also connect you with your Akashic records, the depth of your soul's journey, right? And so we work a lot with that type of energy in when we go to Maria. We're doing emotional healing, heart expansion, connecting with your gifts, connecting with your Akashic records and soul purpose, connecting with creating that clarity and alignment to your higher path, of course. There's just this, it's definitely ocean-based. We go in 3 chartered swims. So here's some pictures from when we were on our retreat of the whales. You'll have to read through this because I explained one of these. I did a story, or I shared a little story of myself going through. I don't know. These don't always play for me when I try to play them on screen share. I think it just takes too much bandwidth. But this is what it looks like. They were down below us, and they're so spatially aware and curious. And they just come right up, and then they just eye you. And you just can't even explain what it's like to connect so deeply. It's like when you connect with their eyes, it's like this transmission just comes through, right? I mean, it's absolutely incredible and completely safe. They're like the gentle giants of the ocean. Their song, one time you could see, they're always going to be different. These are different swims that we took. But one time we got to be floating on top of a singer whale. And I'm telling you, you want to talk about nature's sound bath, the vibration for 40 minutes. We were just like humming over the energy of this beautiful whale song, right? There can be mamas and babies. We've seen them do mating calls. I mean, every time is of course, they're in nature, right? So it's a completely different experience, but it will vibrate through every cell of your being. And it's something that you just can't explain. It's really as though time stops. Time stops. It might only be 3 minutes when they go by, or even 30 seconds, but it's so much more than that, right? It's hard to even explain. We, again, of course, do sound bath healings. We go into the lush volcanic rainforest and connect with the Lemurian energy there. Just being in the water there, being in the vibration there does the work. This one was about a year old, and he just sat there and stared at us for 7 minutes. There was 3 different groups there. And by the way, I will say this is very important to me, and people ask, because my group tends to care, right? We work with very ethical people, or boat companies, who only work with the whales and allow them, we connect with them on their terms, basically. And there's a lot of regulations. There's only 3 spots in the world left that you can swim with the humpback whales. And they've tightened restrictions exponentially from the last 2 years. I do not know. I turned all these off. They've tightened the regulations to where there's really only 6 people in the water at a time per boat. So this particular retreat only has 3 spots left. It's very limited in that sense, because they're protecting the whales, and they can only have 3 groups of boats near them at a time, and then we have to swim out to them. But the guide will actually float you out if you're get nervous or anything like that. And you'll have a life jacket on. And then we just float at the surface. We snorkel, and they come up to us. This one just sat there. I mean, I didn't even have it filming the entire time. But it was special because they took us away from the other 2 groups that were in the water and just stayed with our group. So it was just 6 of us by this baby whale. And it was just something so powerful about it. So again, this is a very different energy. You're deeply healing on the heart, on the emotion, on, your physical energy, your ability to receive, the connection to your deepest desires. And we do a lot of energy work each day, of course, to help integrate and to activate. So that is very, very powerful. And so, as I mentioned, there's 3 whale swims. We go through the island. There's snorkeling. We do high-level expansion energy. We have a private chef for the dinners. We have lunch, picnic lunches typically. You can see a lot more pictures here. I mean, the sunsets are the water is just amazing. We're surrounded by lush rainforest. We've got clear waters. It's just the most magnificent sunrise and sunsets, depending on where you are on the island, that you can see. So you definitely want to check this out. And even if you're not planning to come, this was a tree. Oh my gosh, those trees were talking to us. That was the ancient Lemurian kind of forest energy, and the vibrancy of the coral and the health of it is just incredible. So you'll definitely check this out. There's only 3 spots left. I think at this point it is only women, because they're shared rooms at this point. There's a shared experience, and there's already 2 women. So I think at this point it's down to women. In the beginning, there is space for men on my retreats, but at this point, this one's already filled up. If you choose to whale watch instead of get in the water, you can do that, which is also very exciting. Very exciting. We have one person that is going to choose that option this time so far that I know of. Okay. And so then you can see lots of experiences. People, we had a lot of a testimonial from people there. If you want to look at the day-to-day breakdown, I'll let you come back to this. There's also some video testimonials from people that went. This is our villa, which is incredible, with our own beachfront access. You can go right off the dock, right into the water, kayaks, paddle boards, the whole deal. It's going to be really, really nice. So you can check out the rest of those pictures there. And then the room pricings that are available is $47.97 in full. I think there might be one queen bed left as well, which is $49.97. So twin bed, $47.97, queen bed, $49.97. The queen, if you have 2 people, could share that one and get a little bit of a price discount to $46.97. And then there's the payment plans there as well that you can check out. So I put that on the screen for both of you. And I'll have my team share both of these all these links in all the places as well, so that you can bookmark it and come back to it if that's something you're interested in. And then I'm going to come back to our next one, which is Egypt. Okay, so coming back to Egypt. I wish I could stream in 3 places at one time, but the technology works in one and not in the other. So I feel like I've just learned to be in multiple places for people, and that requires, for me at this stage, 2 computers. So let's see. All right, so the next thing that we are going to talk about is Egypt. This is, again, a completely different experience, right? This one is all about soul transformation. It's a 12-day, and this is very special, 12-day sacred soul alignment and activation journey. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the screen and then talk this through about the specialty of this trip. And as you can see, they're just very different vibrations. And sometimes it's different than what your mind thinks. Sometimes it's what you think you might want. And then when we tune into the energy shortly, you'll feel like, oh, there is something there for me. I didn't know, right? Or now after this, you might start getting that information. That happens a lot for people. Last time I did an Egypt call, suddenly someone's like, oh my gosh, Isis is everywhere I look now. It's like, you connected with her in the activation. So we'll be doing a nice journey just after this next retreat. This is the 3 I'm going to share today. So the Ancient Egypt Sacred Soul Initiation, it is an initiation, let me tell you. And we have some very special next level opportunities that you don't always get, that I think make this trip extra special. I just want to make sure. Zoom, is it on Zoom? The island is near, it's in the French Polynesia. It's near Tahiti. Tahiti is like a 40-minute ferry ride. So we fly into Tahiti for Moorea whale swim, and they take a ferry ride over to the island. It's near, I think Bora Bora is in that region as well, but Tahiti is the biggest one. Okay, so here we are. This is like stepping into your next level self. Just is unlocking so much multidimensional energy. And really, this Egypt, I find, is one that people tend to, like, their souls just, like, they know their soul's calling them, right? They know their soul's calling them. I've got some pictures here from one of my trips there. I love, that's Isis, and I believe that's Hathor and Isis, potentially. I can't remember who this one is for positive. Okay, so this is, like, again, I kind of talk about some story stuff. It's just incredible. It's jaw-dropping, really, just the history. But let me just share a little bit about this experience. We go through some really special initiations. We are going to many different, I think there's like 11 different temples and sites that we're going to be going to. This is about mystery school remembrance. It's about connecting with your soul lineage. It's an ancient, deep awakening. It's timeline healing as well, accessing your gifts in a big way. I want to walk you through a little bit about what's so special and unique about this trip that not every trip will come with, that I think makes it extra powerful. And that is the private entry to the Pyramid of Giza. So when we first arrive, we go to Cairo. And I first want to add this. I have thought about the safety. The safety is taken care of. I know people, especially women, solo travelers, tend to have reached out that they're nervous. I have set up a VIP arrival. So as long as you can get a visa, which pretty much every company can get, every country that I have ever had a student or anybody inquire from can get a visa. I think all but like very remote, teeny tiny countries that I probably haven't heard of when I read the list don't need it. But so basically, as long as you can get a visa on arrival, which pretty much I could say you can, and you can ask me to be sure, we will. And either way, we're going to pick you up at the airport. So you get off the flight, you come off the gate. Before you even hit visa or immigrations, you're going to have somebody there with the name that's going to walk you. They're going to take you. You're going to skip the visa line. They're going to stamp your visa. They're going to walk you through immigration so you're not confused or overwhelmed in line. They're going to take you to pick up your luggage. They're going to help you to the car, and they're going to drive you to our 5-star resort where we're all staying. And so that is something that's very important. And you'll be dropped back. You'll have a way to be dropped back off at the airport as well. So you're never going to be alone. And the fact that right there is very sets people's ease at mind. So I wanted to mention that. Then we're going to get the private access to the Pyramid of Giza. This is so powerful. We get to go a couple of hours for 2 hours with our group with no public people in there. We get to go up into the King's Chamber, and we're going to do a sound healing and meditation journey in the Great Pyramid. I'm telling you, when I did this the first time, it just opened up the field. And I'm not that visual. I'm more of a knower and a sensor. I could see layers of dimensions and energy and downloads and light language, and just everything was just like, it literally is an amplification center. And so when you get in there with some intention and running energy and meditating and activating through sound, it expands and opens something up in a big way. It actually, when I came back, I actually upgraded a lot of the attunements in my program, on my core program that I teach. Soul Success Unleashed, because I started relating to the cosmos and to the earth in a completely new way. We also go down to there's a Queen's Chamber as well, and then there's different areas. So we have a couple of hours to ourselves. That is life-changing. As we were leaving, the public began to come in, and the energy changes dramatically, right? It changes dramatically because you have a lot of people who are not in there with the same level of awareness. And if you are there unlocking high frequency energy, it's revealed. It's always there. It's hiding in plain sight is kind of how it was described to me. But if you're there and you're available, and we heighten the energy like we do to be able to access that energy and information, the stream is just crazy. It's awesome. I shouldn't say in a bad way. It's just like, was mind blowing. And then we have our private Dahabail Nile cruise. This is also different than the first time that I went. I was on most people will take you on a boat that has about 120 people, which again kind of makes it a little bit more hard to integrate the energy, to have private meditation circles. And there's people, there's a lot of like drinking and tourism. It's just a different energy, right? It was fine, but it was a different energy. We're going to have a private Dahabail boat, which is a style of boat, which I'll show you a picture of in a minute, that is like 19th century style, but it's with modern comfort, right? We actually have a chef on board. We're gonna have our own space. We can do sound bath healings at night. We'll do meditation and workshop journeys there. We'll get to swim in the Nile and activate our healing energy. We're going to do some amazing things that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do. I think this is really essential because we're moving through such big energy that, to me, without the private space in between like this to get out of the, we have our own bubble that we can actually just continue to work and integrate through, which is huge. We will be going to the Gem Museum the very first day, actually, where the King Tut exhibit is there. And then that will be when we're in Cairo. Then we also go to Saqqara and Dashur pyramids, throat chakra activation. That's the other thing I should say, is that we're going through a chakra activation. So we'll be doing activation journeys through all the different portal ways, but the crown chakra is the Great Pyramid. Throat chakra is for these Saqqara and Dashur. The Temple of Philae, which is sacral chakra, creative energy, and Isis. We'll be going through the Hanging Church, which is so powerful. This is actually one of the oldest Coptic Christian churches, which is it was really beautiful. And this is a space that has been documented and believed to have had actually Mother Mary and baby Jesus stay in hiding from I believe the Romans back in the day for a couple of months. Like, it's an ancient church. And you just start walking through these spaces, religious or not religious, it's power, energy. And I think most of us have had many lifetimes. And so it's a powerful energy. And then we go to Luxor and Karnak. Karnak will blow your mind as well. We get to see the Temple of Sekhmet, which is actually a private temple that you won't necessarily get to see unless you have prior arrangement for. So we'll be going in there. That was just like, bam, activates the third eye. And then we go to the Valley of the Kings. Again, everything blows your mind, or blew my mind, because the color is just incredible. 5,600 years old, and it's just full color hieroglyphs throughout the entire thing. And I definitely was getting some past life recollection and calling back of my own energy there. There's the optional hot air balloon over the Valley of the Kings at additional charge, but everything else is included. That's the only optional thing. I just didn't want to include it because not everyone's going to want to do that. But it's powerful. And then we go into Queen Hatshepsut. So this is sacred power, balancing the masculine and feminine. Abu Sibyl, Agul, again, blows your mind. It's huge. Root chakra. Then Dendera is one of my favorites. Heart chakra, Hathor, temple of love and creative energy. We go through Kamombo, which is a healing. It's a healing. It's a healing where they have healing documented for healers. This will be very exciting. And it's built over actually what they believe to be kind of like crystal healing chambers. So it's pretty exciting. And then we also have, and that's with Sobek. And then Horus is the guardian of truth. And that is for the Temple of Horus. And so there's just a lot there. And once you get there, almost everything's included in this trip. The only thing that's not included is dinners in Cairo, but we'll be staying at a nice resort, and that is easy to have places to eat there. Other than that, your breakfast, your lunches in Cairo are included, and then all of your meals, I believe after that, are stipulated in the FAQ at the bottom, and all of the entrances and everything like that. Okay, so then here just kind of breaks down a little bit more about that. And here's some pictures if you wanted to go back through. Even just going through this page, it was channeled as I wrote it. That's the style of boat. This might not be the exact, but they changed the styles. They work with different ones, but that is a basic, like, kind of old style, which is so fun. And then a lot of the different temples and hieroglyphs. And I mean, each one of these you could just stare at and get like codes from. So I recommend just like hanging out with the page if you're feeling the call there because of that. There's only 2 single occupancy spaces left if you feel called to single occupancy, but there is still double left. Okay, and so double occupancy pricing is $57.97. This is with a $300 discount right now, and the longest payment plan of $950 is available until the end of February. That is a single occupancy. I'm on 2 different pages here. So double occupancy is 8 payments of $725, and it's $57.97. And then this one's $75.97 for single occupancy, or 8 payments of $950. But again, only 2 left. Okay, so I think that those are all the things there. So I want to come back and just see. Do we have to be 18 to attend the retreat? My 14-year-old daughter would be able to attend with me. Reach out to me privately. I'd love to know which retreat it is and talk to you a little bit about that. And then we can, I have had mother-daughters come, but I believe they actually have been 18. So I want to talk to you a little bit. It might depend on which, we can talk about the retreat and the situation. And of course, yeah, that's possible. Just know that we're doing a lot of meditation work as well. So I think that that's something to decide together. Okay. So I'm trying to remove everything from that and from here. Okay, I'm back. So is there any other questions before we move into the activation? I'll have my team put the Egypt retreat there for you in all the places as well. Or she already did, so that's good. Thank you. Okay, yeah, Facebook, I have to come back after sometimes to see the comments. Okay, so I don't see any questions. So I'm just so curious. Like just from that, are you already starting to kind of feel? We're going to feel into the energies now of each of these powerful portals. But as you can see, these are completely different energies, right? Shasta is just this grounded, rooted embodiment, transformational, expansive, highest timeline. You're bridging your as above, so below, human and higher self. And I think at the core, all retreats do that to different degrees, but that's just very powerful. And then there is also, so that's like more about embodied expansion to your highest timeline, right? And then there's the heart opening soul expansion of Maria. It's so soft, it's so held, it's so feminine, it's so healing, it's so, it's just amazing, soul activating. And then there's the Egypt trip, right? Which is very activating in a different way. They are longer days, definitely. The Egypt retreat is longer days, but that's why I'm so grateful to have some of the private spaces that we have, because that will make all the difference in the world from not being overloaded and feeling like you need a week to just collapse when you get home. Because when we come home, we're going to be at a 5-star in Cairo. We're in a 5-star resort. We're all comfy beds and get just like nurtured and rejuvenated. And then having our own private boat for those few days in the middle there changes everything as well, with the sound baths and the private space, and kind of being able to stay in that space where I can help support, work the energy for the group much easier than I can in a public setting, right? Where there's a ton of people. So that's going to be very powerful. We go to Egypt, we go from Cairo to Luxor to Aswan and then back. So that's kind of we go to multiple places. There is one inner domestic flight from Cairo to Aswan that is covered in your retreat cost as well. So basically you just have to get yourself there, and dinners in Cairo and any extras that you might want. Okay, so now let's do our activation journey. I don't know. Are you ready for some activation journeying? I would love to feel into it now. And if you, I would love to hear it in the chat. Is anything already speaking to you as we start to get set? Oh yes, and thank you. My team is also placing a link. I've opened up this week. I have some space on my time this week, so I've opened up some space for. Feel free to hit reply to any email if there's more logistical type questions. We can answer those pretty easily via email. But if you have some other thoughts or concerns or questions, or just trying to figure out like if this is right for you, I definitely want it to be right for you as well. And I'm happy to talk anything through. And I'm offering 15-minute chats to talk about the retreat, where I can answer your questions and help you to really align with what's the best decision for you. Okay, so I put this on the calendar. I have spaces this week. If nothing on the calendar works because of your time zone or work schedule or something, just hit reply to an email or email us and let us know, and I will find a time that can work. Okay. I know it is a big decision for some people, right? Some people, I've had so many people who have never traveled before, right? And so I remember how that feels as well. That was me on my first retreat. All right, so let's go ahead and go through our journey now. This is going to be a powerful portal journey where we can tune into the energy of each of these places. And just the intention will be, I'll guide you through a short grounding, and then we'll kind of walk through the different energy experiences of each of the places. And then I just want you to notice beyond them, like notice like, how is your body? How is your heart? How is your, what is coming to you? Let this be, intuitively and somatically guided, if you will. All right. So let's go ahead and Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the space I want to be able to. Okay, here we go. All right. So if you'd like to close your eyes, we're going to do a guided journey through the powerful portals of Mount Shasta, the island of Morea, and Egypt. Just allowing you to really feel the energy of each of these retreat pathways and really recognize within your own field, within your own system, if there's a space that is calling to you now. So just focus inwardly on your breath. You might even place, sometimes I like to rub my hands together and put it on my heart or my belly and just take a few nice, deep, cleansing breaths so that we can get centered and start to release all of the information in our mind. And just allow yourself to be present as you focus on the rise and fall of your chest. Sinking even more deeply into this here and now moment. Just focusing your attention on your body and in your heart. And as you take this nice deep breath, just start to feel your heart expand. And just feel that connection with your higher self. Just bringing that connection to your higher self to be with you, to help support you and connect with your intuitive insights and information, really setting your own intention perhaps, whether that's having clarity, if there's beautiful healing and activation for you in any of these retreats at this time, or even just to have the intention of calling your energy and information back as you dip into the energy of these timelines. Beautiful. All right, so taking a moment just to see, feel, or imagine the energy of Mount Shasta. Again, sometimes I like to feel, put my hands out and just kind of feel. If you're a tactile feeler, that might be something helpful. Or just allow yourself to be there energetically. We're tapping into and just standing literally on the energy of Mount Shasta. And just allow the energy frequency of the root chakra of Mount Shasta to really start to activate your feet chakras, that connection to your root chakra perhaps, to your body, and just really feeling into the energy of the mountain and the earth beneath your feet. Just tapping into this energy is a healing. It can elicit a healing on its own. Just notice how that feels as it moves through your body. The beautiful thing about Shasta is there's that wide range of 5-dimensional to 5D, 3-dimensional to 5th dimensional. Right? So now start to feel that expansion. You're connecting with the earth energies, and now from your heart, you're going to expand up and feel and tap into that connection of that, your 5D self, right? Your higher self, and the energy of Lemuria. Right? The Lemurian energy is so prevalent there, but also your own starseed lineage, if you feel that's a part of your path. And if not, just expanding to that connection with your higher self. And just letting that calibrate. The beautiful thing is just calibrating the physical to the spiritual self, right? Integrating the physical body and the higher self energy. And in that process, you naturally get to calibrate to your higher timeline, where expansion meets embodiment. And as we go through, you might even notice some of the guides, right? There's always different spiritual stewards of each of these locations as well. And just notice What does your body feel like, right? Is this a retreat for you? Is this a space for you? Does Mount Shasta feel aligned for you at this part of your journey? For some, these different places feel like home. But every experience will be different. And sometimes it'll be at different times in your life. Beautiful. All right. So from that space, I want you to just take a step back, or imagine taking a step back. Send a little heart to heart, soul to soul, little love and thank you, Shasta, for giving us a little tap of your energy. We want to come back to that neutral space. So just coming back into that connection with your body, with your heart, with the earth, where you are at this time, space, reality. Take a few deep breaths. So you can be in that nice neutral centered space, just letting that energy of Shasta go for now. Sometimes it's in the contrast that you actually really feel the differences as well. And we're going to start to open up the energy portal of Moorea. This is in the French Polynesian island. And I want you to just go ahead and step forward into the energy of Moorea. You might see, feel, or imagine even just stepping into the ocean. It's this beautiful, clear turquoise lagoon that circles the entire island, protected by a reef. You might feel the saltwater air, the ocean breeze on your face, and the salt water beneath your feet. And just notice how the energy of that ocean of Moorea feels. That in and of itself is just so healing and nurturing. The temperature is just perfect. It's like a magical, different world. And just feel that energy again moving throughout your field, through your body, through your heart. And we'll start to introduce the energy of the whale, right? The humpback whale. Their heart coherence is such a high vibrational energy. They're the embodiment of as above, so below. They hold the wisdom and they hold the elevated frequency of our 5D and above in our physical reality. They're holding that energy for us humans to remember and awaken back to that within our own field, within our own self. Beautiful. And just notice what happens to your body here, what happens to your heart. Being in that frequency of the energy of Moorea, the ocean, the whales. It's very ancient Lemurian. Again, the heart chakra of ancient Lemuria. There's such a nourishing, nurturing vibration that this island holds. Beautiful. All right, so taking that moment now to just send our love and our connection to the whales, to Lemuria, and all the beautiful energy there that's supporting. And like I said, the life under the water is just, it's like a living portal in and of itself. So just sending that energy and love. Just calling your energy back into your body, into your heart, just really getting that neutral set point again. You might even take a moment to just reground, right? I feel like that water energy kind of is like, oh, I feel so floaty. Just reground your energy. Focus on the body and the breath. Taking a few nice inhales and exhales. Oh, it's 11:11 here right now. I love that. All right, now taking a moment to step into the energy of Egypt. Now we'll be moving through lots of different energy of Egypt, right? Cairo and then Luxor and Aswan all have their own unique frequencies, but let's just step into the energy of this Egypt portal that's available that really encompasses all of the different types of activations. You might feel the desert or the stone temple beneath your feet. Just allow that energy to touch your feet. Start to move through your field. Really connecting with that ancient lineage, ancient wisdom. Even the air there feels different. Everything about Egypt feels different. It's such a strong energy. It's palpable. Really opening up that connection to your soul's information. Lots of lifetimes there, right? Really connecting with that connection of, have you lived in Egypt before, right? Is there soul energy for you to collect and to integrate or to activate? And again, just feel in your field. Where do you feel the energy? Is there a shift feeling inner energy? Is there an expansion? What is the energy you're feeling? Where is it in your body? Beautiful. And now let's come back out to our neutral set point. Just be in this here and now moment. You can place your hand on your heart or your belly, reground your energy. Just take a few deep breaths, really resetting your space. And you might see, feel, or imagine just those three bubbles of energy, those three energetic portals out in front of you. You've got Shasta, then you have Morea, and you have Egypt. And just notice, and you can ask yourself, which one felt strongest or expansive? Did one of them feel like home? Did one of them feel calm and steady, right? And there's no right or wrong answer. Sometimes, we're called to these different spaces for different reasons, but it's about opening up and just asking what your body and what your soul's information is for you about any of these places at this time. Is there something for you to reclaim through that experience? Beautiful. So we start to wrap up this activation. Why don't you just take a moment to just call your energy back. Call your energy back from Shasta. Call your energy back from Morea and the ancient islands of Lemuria. Calling your energy and information back from Egypt and just being present in this here and now moment. Giving gratitude and thanks for the connection today that we got to have in our body, mind, and soul. Feeling that energy again as you start to take those nice deep breaths in. You might feel the energy of your floor beneath your feet. Give your toes a little wiggle. Reground your energy. Really just filling yourself up with those nice deep breaths. And when you feel complete, you can open your eyes. All right. So let me know. I would love to hear how that was for you. What did you feel in those different places and experiences? Oh, hi, Katie. I miss you too. It's happy to have you here. I'm so curious what you were here for, right? What activation shift? Good job here for listening to the call and showing up. How was that for you? I'd love to hear. Shasta felt calm, peaceful, strong, and grounded. Beautiful. Tahiti sounds amazing. Yes. They're all amazing in their own way, but yes, I love the Tahiti. And to answer your question, I saw, is it near Hawaii or New Zealand? I'm terrible with geography, to be honest. Probably somewhere in the middle, because from California, it's 8 hours direct to Tahiti from California, San Francisco. And it's about 5 hours if you hop over from Hawaii to Tahiti is about 5 hours. But then I think Australia, I don't know about New Zealand exactly, but that's like, if I went there once, it was like 17 hours, right? So if it's 8 hours from here, it's probably 6.5 dozen the other, maybe, I don't know, but it might not be so linear. So you just have to check it out. That was beautiful. It was amazing. The whales are screaming my name. LOL. Oh, there's 3 spots, Kelly. I would love that. Oh my gosh. Because I actually don't know that I'm doing that one. As much as I love the whales, I've been 3 times now. I'm feeling called to some other spots. And honestly, I don't think that one's going to be around forever. They tightened the regulations by half the amount of people last year and down to just 3 places in the world. We do always go, whether we go with the whales or the dolphins, it's always with a very ethical company who are working definitely in harmony with the earth. And the whales and the dolphins, they come to you. And here's the other thing I want to say about anything that I've done with animal retreats like that. Every time the boat people go, oh my gosh, this never happens. Oh my gosh, this is the most amazing experience we've ever had. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. And it's because we're coming in as such grounded, because animals are so sensitive. So we're grounding, we're setting the energy, setting the intention, we're connecting with the whales and the dolphins ahead of time, right? And so that when we come in, it's always so magical. And even other retreats I've gone on with other spiritual people, it's completely different because the animals respond. They are there if they want to be, and they're not if they don't, right? And so there's something to that. Egypt, I've always wanted to go and felt strong, wanting to move into my power, fix your crown. Oh yeah, it's a huge go into your power energy. Huge about taking power back in a big way, and so much more. I would love that. Reach out if you have questions. Beautiful. I heard whales too. Yes, the whales are my heart. I visited my dog that passed in Shasta, Esmeralda. I feel called to Shasta. My mother would love the whales. Easy, put her paw on me. I said hi. Oh, that's so powerful. That's special. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Will there be a recording available? Yes. If you've registered officially, if you're on Zoom, you'll get the replay for sure because you registered if you're here. I didn't publicly post the Zoom. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you want to make sure you officially register for the call. I'll have my team actually put my email address in there, and then maybe we can add you and get you sent out, right? I don't have the registration link handy, but then we can send it to you. I did a past life hypnosis, and it showed me as a queen of Egypt. I love that. Oh my gosh, that's powerful, Crystal. Especially, I got a lifetime like that when I was, 2 different trips to Egypt. The one time was in the Valley of the Kings. I heard it speak to me. It was a very interesting, clear remembrance. I wasn't exactly the highest up in that, but I was part of that royalty. And then Dendera is another place that triggers a lot. I mean, the interesting thing about Egypt is the veil is so flippin' thin that it feels like you're seeing and feeling both energies of both timelines at the same time. Like your foot's literally in both timelines. When I walked up to Dendera the first time, I was like, I'm here in real life, but then it was flashing color, flashing to Oasis, flashing. It's like I could be and experience, and it's like this instant integration of other lifetimes, so much lifetime and different lifetimes incorporated, and it has so much to do with our leadership and our power and all of that. Is mind-boggling. Okay, so I think that is the questions. I don't see. I'm thankful I got to see you live. Thank you for being here, Sharon. Let's see. All were amazing, but the whales were strongest by far. Took me back to the first point of creation. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. They are wisdom keepers. There is the wisdom keepers embodied, but it's in a whole different, like the way that you get to embody your wisdom with the whales is so different. It's like what I was surprised about, especially not only but with the sound healing, even just floating on top of them when they're sleeping. It's like their field of energy is like boom, 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 but it just moves, and you can feel it. And when he was singing, especially feel it through the different chakras. Like it definitely is holding the energy of creation, as above, so below, 100%. So great. Like very intuitive of you, right? I'm not surprised. I'm surprised you didn't focus on dolphins. Well, the dolphin trip, I will do the Bali and dolphin. Well, today I'm only doing 3 pathways. So I'm going to be, I'll probably talk about Bali and the dolphins next week. These ones were coming up. I didn't want to do all 5 in one day is a lot, right? I want to stick within about 90 minutes. So I will definitely, I have intention to do a call for dolphin and Bali as well. Just not all today. It's too many energies. All right. Thank you for sharing. You're so welcome. All right. Please reach out. And also, I have one more thing to share. If you sign up by February 28th, and those of you that are signed up for any of these retreats already, I will, I'm going to be doing I decided to add a new bonus. It just came to me as something that would be supportive for everybody and actually ground the energy for all of us in a big way. So if you're signing up by the end of February for Shasta for Egypt or for Shasta, Egypt, what did I talk about? Morea, right? By the end of February. In March, I'm going to be doing a live call where we can really ground and set the energy, clear your path, activate those intentions, and really set a strong energetic bubble for you starting now, because the transformation begins when you say yes. Things start shifting immediately. So let's help ground the energy, clear the energy, align the energy, and set a really sacred space for the transformation that you want to have so that you can really get the most out of the experience for the time that we get there. And so, of course, if you're already signed up for one of those retreats, you would be invited as well, for sure. Do you have a website we can look at all of your retreats? Yes. I have, let me just have my team put the all retreats link. And you can put them in all places as well. I think they put everything, but go ahead and just send the all retreats. We'll make sure we get that for sure in here. Amazing how each of them are so unique. Yeah, that's what made me feel called to share those ones that are coming up the soonest. But also they had such interesting, unique pathways. Sometimes that makes it very clear when you can start to feel the energy. Thank you. I missed the first one, so I'll look for the replay. Absolutely. Are you registered? If you're on YouTube, you have to be registered to get the replay. So make sure, it'll be here for a bit too. So that's true. Okay. So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much, Shelly. The retreat link for all the retreats are now in the chat, so you can copy that before we hang up here. Each region resonated, so I know uniquely for sure. What time did we start? We started at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and it's 11:24 Pacific time. So an hour and 25 minutes ago. And I loved that as soon as we were in the middle of the meditation, it was 11:11 here. I was like, I love that. It just felt very magical. So thank you all for being here. Please reach out with any questions. I've got some extra time this week that I added on the calendar, which I don't often offer, but I felt really called to be open because I know it's a big experience. I know it's a big energy. I know it's a big decision for a lot of people. And most of the time people's concerns are very, it's actually there are no concerns. It's usually our inner fears about the transformation that the place is offering us, right? So when you feel like I'm excited and I'm nervous at the same time, usually that's a great sign. There's going to be a lot of transformation there. But I want you to make the right choice as well. So feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to have my team set one more time the calendar. If it's logistical questions, you can easily email as well. Or if you want to come in for a 15-minute chat because you're interested in one, absolutely. If you don't see a time available, I'll put it in Zoom if my team can put it in YouTube and Facebook for me. Would be great. I don't know if it goes when I put it on StreamYard where I'm streaming from. So yeah, book that right there. Let me know if you don't see a time that works. Please let me know. I've got some flexibility this week for sure. And for Shasta, especially, the $300 goes away at the end of the month, as well as all of the plans shrink by 1 month because it has to be paid before you go. So each month, the lowest payment option, same amount of money, but it goes down unless the $300 goes away. I have a huge fear of swimming and fish of any sort. How can I overcome that for the whales? You know what? I would say I was so surprised. We had three of the people were very afraid. One of them didn't swim. Two of them were afraid of the water and had experiences. We do clear energy ahead of time. That's one thing that we can do on our call. You can do on your call. We're going to be clearing the fears and the karma and the things that might be there that makes it like tougher, right? For those that are registering. And then we're also going to, but I would say sometimes it's past life stuff, right? A lot of times. Sometimes it's just like you can practically, if you can get into a shallow water or a pool, if you have a gym or something like that, those things can help. But we clear the energy because it's the whales and the fish. I'm hearing you. We do a lot of clearing work and we get in the snorkel before we go on the whale swim, right? So we get in the water, we practice, I make sure you're comfortable, and you're going to love our boat guides. Serena is just so gentle and she's holding the space. You feel so safe. And if you're not comfortable swimming, she literally has a floater. I took my mom and dad there. After my treat, I stayed a whole extra week and brought my parents out there and they did it. I was so surprised. My dad doesn't really swim at all. I was so surprised he wanted to do it, but he did. And he got in and they just held on to the floaty and she carried them out. We have a life jacket, floaty, and we just stay at the top of the water and they come up to us, right? So there's there's strict regulations for the whales, for everyone's safety, but for the whales' comfort. And so we do a lot. All I can say is that we do a lot of clearing and energy work. People feel so safe when they get in their presence because they're such gentle, loving beings. And all of them immediately couldn't wait to do it again and again and again. And some of them want to go on my dolphin retreat, right? Who are afraid to swim starting out, right? So I think listen to the soul call. The rest will get worked out. Okay, I think that's everything. But yes, it's definitely other lifetimes. Sometimes I don't know what energy work you have or do, but reading the energy of what's at the root cause. I teach people how to do readings, and I'm just not sure if you know how to do that. But that's what I would say is it's often rooted to a past life. But we do a lot of that clearing before we get in the water with them as well the first day. Okay, so have a great rest of your day. Please reach out if you have any questions. I think that's everything. I think I've gathered everything. If you are on Facebook, my apologies. I'll come back and check the questions there now. All right, have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk again soon. I hope to see you on one of the retreats. It's life-changing. Being with people in person is one of my favorite things to really activate this level of, intimate, small connections is just, again, it's like soul family coming together again, and it helps you heal in a big way. All right. So bye for now. Have a great rest of your day.